Duluth Huskies, they've officially passed the halfway mark of their season, now entering the month of July. They begin the new month back at home, opening up a new series against the St. Cloud Rocks. And while they couldn't get it done last night, maybe tonight was their night. Hoagie handing out thumbs up and barking orders at Wade Stadium tonight, just keeping everyone in check during what would be a pretty interesting meeting. We jump right into a scoreless ball game. The Rocks rip on a grounder, but the Huskies defense is all over it for the double play. And this one stays locked at zeros at the top of 3. But the meat and potatoes of this one would be pitching. A duel between two freshman pitchers, St. Cloud's Dallin Harrison and Duluth's Colin Carney, handing out Ks like Halloween candy and closing doors like it's their day job. Their scoreless ways would last all the way through 6 full innings. The Huskies yet to even tally a hit. Until, finally, MJ Sweeney delivers, one of the Huskies' offensive leaders. He unleashes on a grounder to deep right field, and that base hit, just the spark the Huskies needed. Because then with 2 on, Reagan Reeder sends one high and deep. Not that exciting, but a sac fly will do the trick to finally break the scoreless tie. Through 7 innings, the Huskies would haul home another run to sneak by with a 2-0 shutout win over the Rocks, finishing the first half of their season at 17-17.